Okay, here we are again. Now we are in the part 2 of the uh, session for our bank reconciliation topic. We are now on the part wherein we will be solving some problems. So we will just go on. Basta again, lagi nating a reminder, if you are new to the channel, hit like, subscribe to the channel. So, diretso na tayo sa ating part 2 ng ating bank reconciliation proof of cash problem solving. Let's go on. Tingnan natin ang problem na ibibigay sa atin. Okay. So, now we can see at least a bunch of information na naka-display before us. So, meron tayo ditong mga given. Basahin natin ang problem. The bank reconciliation of Xavier Company as of January 31 of the current year is shown below. Bank balance 300,000, add deposit in transit 600,000, total of 900,000. And we have at least three checks, 114, 115, and 116, representing the outstanding checks for the month of January. No, as of January 31, they are all outstanding checks. 240,000, 160,000, 60,000 for a total of 460,000. And then finally, we have the adjusted bank balance as of January 31. Actually, this is the uh, uh, bank reconciliation statement, no, being maybe prepared by the accountant, by the Xavier Company, no, for January. So, ito na nga, we ended up and determined that the adjusted bank balance was 440,000. Just to have you informed about this adjusted bank balance also represent the adjusted book balance as of January 31. So, that's the purpose of the bank reconciliation. The purpose of bank reconciliation is to make the bank balance and the book balance agree with each other. So, if we consider this adjusted bank balance as the updated, no, updated cash balance as of that date, so we can also accept the fact that this is now the adjusted book balance as of January 31. So that is a piece of information that I can give you. Okay, so let's move on. We are given the information here. At this point, this is the portion of the bank statement. No, actually, the bank is the Bank of Philippine Island. We have the columns here, columns for the check, columns for the deposit, and the actually this on this part, this is the part of the what we call the running balance of your cash. Okay, so let's just go on to the other part. On top of the information, we have here a sort of an information for a receivable. Actually, this is a note. Okay, the face of the note is 250,000 with their interest as of that period, maybe as of February 28, no, 30,000, no, interest. Then the maturity value is 280 and deducted an amount of 10,000 representing collection charge, and nakalagay dito credit to the account is 270,000. So This only means that this amount of 270,000 is credited to the account, no? Which is, uh, we all know that we are unaware, as a business, we are unaware until the time that we receive the bank statement. So, let's just move on with the information again. The data below were taken from the cash journals of Xavier Company. We have two journals here, the cash receipts journal and the cash disbursement journal. We all know that the cash receipts journal represents all the debit of our cash, no? All the cash debits, ang amount niya is 6,900,000. At yung cash disbursement journal, nagre-represent naman ang ating mga cash credit, no? If we will elaborate more, cash debit will mean an addition to our cash balance, and the cash credit is uh, where all the deductions or the uh, deductions for that matter, no, yung ating mga disbursement, no, ay naka-reflect dito for amount of 4,500,000. Okay. So, meron naman siyang mga balances, no? Meron tayong mga balances here. So, we will just explain what am I going to do now is to explain and elaborate on how will this bank reconciliation will be uh, prepared, and how will it be done so we can accomplish our goal, which is to determine the correct cash balance. Okay. So, requirement, prepare the company's bank reconciliation as of February 28 of the current month, actually, showing the book balance before and after adjustments. Okay. Letter B, prepare journal entries to record adjustments that are indicated by the bank reconciliation. Okay, we will just explain. I have here all the answers here, and we will just explain how did it happen, or how did it uh, come to be as is. Okay, so to explain, we indicated here in the preparation of the bank reconciliation as of February 28 as what we have indicated here, no? As of January 31, 440. As I've said earlier, no, let's accept the fact that the adjusted bank balance is also the same as the adjusted book balance as of January 31. Okay? We all know that. Kasi kaya nga siya adjusted. The fact is, uh, we were uh, will be forced to accept the fact that this is really the balance, considering we already label it as adjusted, no? For 40,000 is the amount, so we started with 440,000. Okay, so that's the one primary information that we should always remember. Okay, next. We will add all the cash debits for February 28, or rather February, month of February. February 28 is the reporting date of the bank reconciliation. Okay? So, we add all the cash debits and we can get it here. Yan. Nakuha natin siya. 6,900,000. So, as raw information, we get it as it is. Okay, we get it as it is. Kung anong sinabi, cash debit, so we add all the cash debits. We get the total, no? We have the total, and we will also less all the cash credit. If we got the incoming, we also wanted to get all the outgoing cash. 4,500,000 is the amount. So we reflected here 4,500,000. So we arrive at the unadjusted book balance as of February 28, 2,840,000. Okay, always remember, no, we label it as unadjusted because as we have discussed in the part 1, no, unadjusted book balance is the label in the process of during the process of preparation of uh, bank reconciliation statement. But in a simpler language, this is the cash balance, no? Ending cash balance as of this February 28, no? Ending cash balance per books. Okay, 2,840,000. Okay. So, at this point, since we are about to reconcile, we will now consider all the reconciling items. And since we started with the books, we will now consider all the book reconciling items. This is a much simpler problem. So we can easily identify all the uh, what we call the reconciling items. If we will just look at the bank statement, we can easily see all the reconciling items. No, among the list of the reconciling items is the credit memo. We can now identify that there is a credit memo, no, being uh, online with all these deposits, no, these credits, no. This line here is what we call the credit. So 270,000 will be reflected here, no. At the same time, we will still look for another reconciling item, and we can see on the part of the debits, we can see that there is a 5,000 service charge. Service charge is a deduction, no? The effect of service charges is will make the uh, balance of our books, no, to go down, since this is really intended to be deducted. Service charges are to be deducted from the book cash balance. So the net effect of these two reconciling items is 265,000. So we can just simply deduct 265,000 from the 2,840,000. So we just arrived, no? We're just happy to say that we just determine the adjusted book balance as of February 28, amounting to 3,105,000. Now, it's not yet finished, so let's go now to the uh, balance per bank for the determination of its adjusted balance. So, again, let us remember this fact that we, in the process of computation, ano, actually we can easily get the ending balance here, no? But it is much uh, safer if we will really look at the computation, no? And it is better na talagang naiintindihan natin how did we arrive at this amount. Let us face the fact that this is the amount reflected in the bank statement, 3,265,000. But let us check if it is really true that it is really 3,265,000. So all we have to do is just compute it, no, meticulously. So we get the bank balance 300,000. Always remember that even if we had the unadjusted bank balance, this is for our own record only. We cannot force the bank to change its value or its amount, no? It will remain as is, that their bank balance as of January 31 is 300,000 because we don't have any business with them. We are just reconciling on our own, or the business is just doing its own job of reconciling the balance. So we still started with the bank balance January 31, 300,000, and we will now add all the bank credits just to uh, really uh, know if we are really doing the right thing, if we are really uh, picking up the correct information, ano. Okay, so let us see if it is really 7,320,000 as I've added that. So it is proven that it is 7,320,000. Okay, so we will add that 7,320,000. We get the total of 7,620,000. Then less the debits. The debits are all the checks, no? Checks cleared, including the other debit memos. The service charge is part of the debit memos on the part of the bank. But we can simply say that all the debits, no, amounted to 4,355,000. So we will take it as it is, 4,355,000. As we deduct it, we came to the unadjusted cash balance per bank, 3,265,000. Okay. Since we now arrive at the unadjusted cash bank balance per bank, no, unadjusted cash balance per bank, we will now add or deduct the bank reconciling item. The first from the list is the deposit in transit for 50,000 and outstanding check of 610,000 with a net effect of 160,000 negative, and then we just simply deduct this net effect from the 3,265,000 to arrive at 3,105,000. So, wow. So, we are happy that we are balanced. Now, we found out that the balance is 3,105,000. But wait, well, how can we say that we are doing the right thing? How can we prove that the in transit is 450,000 and the outstanding checks amounted to 610,000? Okay, this is the formula for you to better understand and for you to verify that we have done the right thing of getting the deposit in transit of 450,000 and outstanding check of 610,000. Okay, we will just uh, compute first the deposit in transit for February. Okay, the deposit in transit for February, we will start with in transit January. Okay, so let's prove that there was a in transit in January. So here it is. This is the 600,000 deposit in January. Okay. So let's add the book debits. 6,900,000. So here it is. No, book debits. So we added the book debits. So let us identify that. Here it is. So we added them. So the total is 7,500,000. Now, as we already got the total, we have to deduct all the bank credits. So we will go to bank credits. Let's see if that is the amount of the bank credits. So 7,320,000. Okay. So I got the 7,320,000. But point of information again, when we are doing this in transit thing, we really have to be sure that the total credits will represent all the deposit only. We have to eliminate, no, non-deposit transaction. Kaya let's see, how come we deducted 270,000? Because this is a credit memo. This is a credit memo and this is not part or this will not represent a deposit. Actually, this was a collection, no, being done. Actually, it was the bank who made this collection. It was not a deposit. Since we are accounting for the deposits, okay? So, since we identified that, we can simply say that the total deposit for the month of February amounted to 7,050,000 by getting the 7,320,000 minus 270,000, that is 7,050,000. So we just deduct the total, no, the total uh, in transit beginning and the total debits for the books less the 7,050,000 for the total deposits, no, reflected in the bank statement, okay, 4,050,000. And this is your 450,000, 450,000. Okay, sorry. So for the outstanding check, we got same the same theory or the same concept. We will just the outstanding check for January, get the outstanding check for January for 60,000. Okay, we will add the book credits, the book credits amounting to 4,500,000. So I got here 4,500,000. We got the total. The total is 4,960,000, and we will now make it go against the bank debits. The bank debits will total 4,355,000. Again, we will account for the total debit, but total debits without the other, no, non-check items, or maybe the debit memos or some adjustment. We should not include that. So the service charge should not be included. So we will deduct it from the total debits. Now we get the total checks. This will represent the total checks cleared for the month of February, 4,350,000, and we will just simply deduct it from the 4,960, okay, thousand. So the total or the balance is 610,000, representing outstanding checks in February. So it was what is uh, indicated here, no? 610,000. That's why we get here the net effect of 160,000. So just to prove that we did the right procedure, 3,105,000 as of February 28. Now we will just do the journal entries. Journal entries for February. Cash in bank debit to 70,000. That will be uh, recorded because of the fact that we are being credited by the bank for that amount, 270,000, as what is reflected in the information, no? And also you can see it here in the bank statement. 270,000 was credited on your account. 270,000, that is cash in bank, and we have the debit bank charges. The bank charges, we can get it here on the information. Ayan, no, bank charge, this is an expense. Okay, so we credit interest income because we are given an interest, no, on the note, no, as we are informed by the bank. And the credit, since we collected this amount, we will eliminate the notes receivable on its face value, 250,000. So we are now finished for the first entry. The second entry is to reflect the service charge that we had in the bank statement. Okay, that is 5,000 for bank service charges and credit cash in bank. That's why we arrive at the amount of 3,105,000 in February 28. So that's it for the problem 1. And always remember this formula because this will be one of the useful tool you can uh, consider in the determining or the uh, or on your reconciliation procedure, or the in the time you are preparing your bank reconciliation statement. Okay, remember these formulas here. Okay, next we will now go to problem 2. The problem 2 stated that Care Company newly hired assistant prepared the following bank reconciliation on March 31, 2020. Okay, it seems to me that this bank reconciliation statement is quite uh, uh, not really in good form, or shall we say is not really in proper position, and or in short word is it's quite a wrong uh, bank reconciliation statement, because I'm seeing some items not really in its proper places. Okay, but let's go on. Book balance daw, sabi, is 1,405,000. And then we have this add March 31 deposit, ano? Because, not to mention na March 31 ang ating date. Okay. So, at the end of March daw ay may 750,000 na deposit. Then, we also have the collection of the note. We also have the interest on the note. And they totaled it. The total is 4,805,000. Okay, then the assistant, no, made the deductions. The following deductions are Cara company's deposit to our account, sabing ganyan. It seems to me that it was an error of the bank, no? It was an error of the bank. But I don't know why he placed it here. Okay, let's continue. Bank service charge of 5,000 for a total of 1,105,000, and the adjusted book balance of 3,700,000. Okay, let's continue. Then bank cash balance daw, sabi, ay 5,630,000, and he added the error on a check number 175, 45,000 pesos in amount. The total now is 5,675,000. Okay, less a pre-authorized payment for light and water. Okay, so that means to say that there was an authority on the part of the bank to pay for the bills of the company. Okay, 245,000. NSF checks, 220,000. We all know what is NSF checks are, no? These are checks which are deposited but eventually no fund. So the bank debited this amount. Okay, outstanding checks. These are checks, or these are the disbursement checks which as of that particular date has not yet been presented to the bank. 1,650,000. The total is 2,115,000. So he simply deducted these amounts. So he ended up with 3,560,000, which is very visible that it did not balance, no? It did not balance for the month of March 31 for the year 2020. For the explanation, check number 175 was made for the proper amount. So, the proper amount was 249. So, we can now uh, say that the proper amount is identified, 249,000. Okay? However, it was entered in the cash payment journal as 294. 294,000 ang naging entrada sa journal. Okay, sa disbursement journal. CARE also authorized the bank to automatically pay its light and water bills as submitted directly to the bank. So, what I've said earlier, what I noticed is that the bank was given authority to pay for the bills of the business. Okay, the requirement is correct bank reconciliation, necessary adjusting entries on March 31, 2020. Okay, so let's go directly no to the point no. Huwag na nating patagalin kasi nakikita ko I can see that the bank statement is really wrong. Not to mention the fact that it was not balanced. Okay, let's make a corrected uh, bank reconciliation no to really determine what was the amount of its cash as of March 31, 2020. Okay, let's start no. Let's do it much faster no. Unadjusted book cash balance, okay, given I will pick it from here 1,405,000. I don't think this is included in the uh, book cash balance or the uh, cash balance per book portion. No? I will just leave it first. I will not include this because this is not a book reconciling item. So, the reconciling item for the books are as follows. Collection of the notes, 2,500,000. Yes, okay. The interest of the notes, okay. And let us compute for this error. How come I arrive at this book error amounting to 45,000 and why I added it? Because it is stated here that the check was good for 249,000 and yet the bank or the business recorded it in the journal as 294. So there was an overstatement of check, no? An overstatement of check which resulted to understatement of the cash. Kung understated ang cash, the amount of or the understatement was 45,000. That was the difference between 294 and 249. Ang difference na yan made the cash balance to be understated kasi sobra cheque. Sabi natin, ano, pag sobra ang cheque in issue, no, ay kulang ang cash balance mo. Ang amount ay 249, record mo ng 294,000, no? Ang iyong overstatement ng cheque ay 45,000 at ang iyong understatement ng cash balance ay 45,000. So we will add them kaya inad natin siya. So ang total natin as of this point is 4,100,000. So other reconciling items, NSF check given. Okay. This was the point we were discussing about. The bank was authorized to pay the light and water. So it was the bank who first know, no? It was the bank. First hand nila na alam na sila ay nagbayad. But at this point, ngayon lang natin siya i-adjust because it was the bank who paid, not the business. So, it is now that we are doing the bank reconciliation, it is now just this point that we will recognize the payment. No, so we will just less the 245. So just a clarification really that it is the bank who deducted this. No, we can simply say that whatever balance the bank reflects, no, we can simply say that this is already deducted sa bank balance. Pero tayo sa business, ngayon lang natin siya ibabawas because again and again, it was the bank who paid for this amount, not the business. Okay, continue. Service charge. Ayun. So, this is still a book reconciling item. As far as I know, I am doing it right because I'm pretty sure that I'm getting all the information. I'm not missing anything. So, i-add natin for 70,000. So, 4,100,000 minus 470,000 is 3,630,000. That will be the adjusted book cash balance March 31, 2020. Let us now go to the bank balance. 5,630,000 as if given in the wrong bank reconciliation statement, it's still 5,630,000. Okay, then it is now the third of this March 31 deposit to be included. Tsaka natin siya include dito sa ating deposit in transit because this represents a deposit not reflected in the bank statement. Deposit in transit 750,000, a bank reconciling item. We got the total 6,380,000 and we have the outstanding checks, no? The outstanding checks was given, so no problem about that. And also, let us forget the fact that it also reflected an error, no? A wrong, no? A wrong credit to our account. The bank erroneously credited an amount which is not really ours. So, this is for Kara, but our company is Care. So, hindi atin yan. Kaya we will less that. We will try to deduct that from the bank balance. 2,750,000. Okay? The total adjustment. No? Adjustment for deduction. Then, the total minus the amount of 2,750,000, no, will end up 3,630,000. Again, 6,380,000 minus 2,750,000. That is 3,630,000, and we are really pretty sure that we got the correct amount because it balanced. Okay, and I'm really confident enough that I did the correct procedure and all the accounts were really placed into its proper places, not uh, the same as what the uh, assistant did, yung kanyang balance ay hindi nga tumama sa balanse, no? But this time, we are now balanced. So, we will now give the journal entries for that. Cash in bank, 2,695,000 debit. Note receivable credit, 2,500,000. 150,000 for the net interest income, and the accounts payable 45,000. We can justify that because it's all identified here in the statement. Okay? Naka-indicate yan dyan. So, this is now the right entry. No? Elimination of liability, recognition of income, and the elimination of the asset, note receivable, and the finally, no, recognition of the increase in cash in bank. Another entry, account receivable, 220,000, which this was the NSF check, Okay, so we try to return the uh, asset account to its proper places, no? The receivable is now recognized, and at the same time, the cash account was credited. Also, the utilities expenses as indicated here because the bank paid for our utility, and finally the bank service charge of 5,000. Okay, so I think we did the right entry for 70,000 for the debit and the credit. Okay, finally we have here the 4-column bank reconciliation. Okay, since We are really running out of time. We will just simply make a short uh, explanation and short illustration of the answers for all of these given entries. Okay, we will now go to the four-column bank reconciliation. Okay, let's see. Meron tayong beginning. So, hindi i-reflect natin. Meron nga ba talagang beginning? Yes. Okay. Meron bang receipts? At this point, parang wala siyang bank or book debits. No? No? Hindi binigay ang book debits. The book debits for December, wala. Okay. But, meron bang disbursement? Meron ba tayong book credits? Meron ba? Okay, meron. Meron ng book credits, 1,440,000. And also, we have the ending balance for the books, 3,160,000. So, in that sense, I just want to explain it. If you have a blank space here for the uh, for column bank reconciliation, you just do your some mathematics exercises. All you have to do is just to, because ang wala dito ay yung receipt, ano? So, all you have to do is, if you are looking for the balance ng receipts, so, this is the formula. Ending plus disbursement minus beginning, and then you get the receipts. The same here, kasi ganun din ang given dyan no? Meron ding wala sa, because the bank credits and the book debits is the same. They are all the incoming cash. On the part of the bank, incoming yan. On the part of the book, yung debit, incoming yan. Kaya naka-line up sila pareho. So, ganun din. No? To get this, receipts, that is ending plus disbursement minus beginning, then you get the receipts. Okay. So, bigay natin ang mga answers isa-isa, no? Base sa given dito sa ating problem. So, isa-isahin natin. Base sa binigay, yung outstanding check na 180, i-deduct natin sa beginning, i-deduct din natin siya sa disbursement. Nasaan yan? Ito yan, yung 180. Kasi sabi, outstanding check yan ng November. In most practice, this outstanding check will be deducted by the banks sa susunod na buwan. So, let us deduct it from the beginning. Alisin din natin siya sa disbursement. At the same time, yung 592 na outstanding check, let us deduct it, or actually, deduct it sa ending. Pero ito ay i-add mo sa disbursement para i-deduct na mo sa ending. Yan yung outstanding check ng December. Okay? So, let's go now to the in-transit. Ang in-transit ay given dito. Ang in-transit sa November, yan ay idinagdag ng bangko sa December. So, alisin mo siya sa receipt, ilagay mo siya sa beginning balance. Kasi siya ay supposedly deposit ng November. Also at the same time, yung dineposit naman ng December na hindi nag-reflect sa December, ilagay natin sa receipt, ilagay din natin sa ending balance because per books, yan ay accounted for dito sa libro. Kaya yan ay i-add natin sa receipt, i-add din natin sa ending balance. Ano yung 498 na yan? Ito yan. In transit ng December. Okay, next. No? Dito naman, correction of error. Sabi, kung ano yung error ng last month, kino-correct sa, yes, no? Kung ano yung error, no? Ay kino-correct sa next month. So, in this case, may error ng February, November, sorry. November, may error ng November. So, ang gagawin, no? I-correct natin siya sa November because it was really corrected ng bank sa December. Alisin mo yan dyan because it was not really intended there, no? It should be added sa beginning. Alisin mo dito sa receipt. At yung error naman ng December, yon ang talaga ngayong dapat mai-reflect diyan because ang ginawa ng bangko, no, for the month of December, ayan, no, merong erroneous debit, no? Mali talaga ang bangko for the month of December, erroneous debit. So, tanggalin mo siya sa debit. This is debit disbursement. So, idagdag mo ngayon sa ending balance. Why? Because it was an error. Error yun. Kaya, tanggalin natin yung pagka-error niya. No? Sobra ang disbursement, bawasan ang disbursement. At idagdag mo sa ending. Okay? So, at the same time, yung 200 and 300, actually this represents the, shall we call it, yung mga collection naman, no, ng bangko. Ang nagkamali naman dito, or shall we say, ang adjustment should be on the part of the books. Kasi yung collection ng bangko, the next month pa. Pero ang recording ng business ay on the same month. Itong 200 na to, it was placed in the bank sa Nobyembre. Tama. Pero dapat makukolekta sa Disyembre. Kaya alisin mo siya sa Nobyembre on the part of the books, on the part of the books, it was not really a collection on November but on December. Kaya ililipat natin. At the same time, yung ipinlace nila na notes nung December, it will not yet be recorded as collection. Inilagay na ng, kinonsider na ng business na collection. Alisin na natin muna. Kaya aalisin din natin siya sa ending balance. Okay? So, just to really complete the data, wala naman ang ibang mga affected kundi yung bank charge, no? Yung bank charge ng last month, no? Alisin mo ngayon 'yan sa current kasi last month 'yan, ibawas mo last month. At yung bank charge naman for this month ay idagdag mo sa disbursement, ibawas mo sa ending balance. So all in all, we can see that the balances are equal, and since this is an Excel program, we can see that there are no, or there is no single difference, no, between the bank and the book. So they have the same columnar totals here, considering all the given transactions and their sort of time discrepancies, So that's how this bank recon or proof of cash works. It was just an easy, or rather a fast review of all of these problem solving, no? I just wanted to apply what we have discussed in the part 1 of the bank recon and the proof of cash. Again, I just would like to thank everybody for the support, and as I always mention, keep on doing this accounting thing, a very uh, exciting one. Always uh, enjoy doing the accounting, and I hope you learn from this problem solving activity. And this is another version of our accounting in 30 minutes. No, thank you very much. This is uh, the version of our bank reconciliation and proof of cash. Stay safe and see you again in our next videos. Share, like, and subscribe. Goodbye for now.